Pardon me. So now we're back to learning GDScript from zero by GDQuest. We're going to continue from where we left off over here on coding our first function. All right. So far, we've called existing functions that other developers wrote. True. In this lesson, we're going to talk more about what functions are and see some examples. Then we're going to learn how to define our own functions. All right. So functions are named sequences of instructions. True. Functions are sequences of instructions. We give a name, and we call that name an identifier. Okay. Using the identifier, we can get the computer to execute all the instructions inside the function as many times as we need. This is what a function call does. All right. We're going to learn more about identifiers here. Okay, let's see what this says. In computer programming, we talk about identifiers rather than names. It's because a function name is a label the computer uses to precisely identify and refer to a function or other code elements. All right. Identifiers are unique. We cannot reuse the same name in a given space in our code. If we try to name two functions the same, the computer will raise an error. All right. So let's go to the next part. If there's any code that we need to run multiple times, we can put it inside a function and give it a name. All right. The instructions inside a function can be any code we want, and they will run. And they will all run every time we call the function. So here's the example of a move and rotate function that moves the turtle forward and then turns it 90 degrees. All right. So yeah, this function is going to move the turtle 200, turn right 90 degrees, and that's it. So it'll go and then turn right and turn right, just like that. All right. So the move and rotate function consists of two instructions, each on a separate line. Yes, two instructions, separate lines. Both of these instructions call another familiar function. Pardon me. Pardon me. Both of those instructions call another familiar function. All right, there we go. We could write another function that calls move and rotate 4 times to draw a square the length of 200 pixels. Yeah. So if we do this, it'll just do, if we do this, it'll call this 4 times. It'll do this, turn, and then do this and turn, do this and turn. Okay, so here it is. Turn, do it again, do it again, do it again, and set up. And if we had more, we could do it again and again and again. All right? That's functions, everybody. That's calling functions inside of functions, everybody. All right. I wonder if we're going to get into the really wild stuff. Every time we call move and rotate, the two functions move forward 200 and turn right 90 degrees. The two functions, this one and this one, are called in sequence. Okay, anyway. In this simple example, it may not feel super useful, but here's a more useful and realistic one, a function to draw any square, right? The following function uses parameters, which we will explore in the next lesson, all right? So this is a parameter, right? So okay, it's so easy to get these right and to remember this. It's just, you have to remember 2 different words, right? So when it's inside of a function declaration, like this function definition right here, this thing is called a parameter, okay? When it's being called somewhere else, like, here, well, when it's being called here, all right? Because if this is the function move forward being called. When it's being called, this is an argument, all right? Because you see here, if there was like, if it said size right here, and then it said move forward size, that would be a parameter, okay? Because it's inside of a function. It's inside of the declaration of the function. But when it's in a function call, it's called an argument. That's all when you see those, that's it. It took me a little while to understand that, but that's the only difference, right? So let's do this, draw square. I think we did that. Oh, no, this is the any size one. All right, so yeah, we see right now it says 90. Inside this one, it says 40. we can make it bigger to 90, right, like that, and it's that big. We can make it 200, and it's that big. We can make it 150, and it's this big. All right, so that's where the arguments and the parameters come in. So this is the parameter because it's getting defined here, and this is an argument right here because it's getting called. It's the function call. That's all it is. All right, so let's go. How to define our own functions. Let's break down how we define a function. A function definition starts with the func keyword followed by a space, the function's name, parentheses, and a colon. Right? So it's just like this. Func, we've got the space, the name, the parentheses, and the colon right there. Right? And if we had a parameter, it'd be inside there like that. Okay. So the instructions inside the function must all start with a leading tab character. Yeah, so there's always a tab right here. We can insert that tab character by pressing the tab key, but also inside of this thing, if we press enter, it'll just do it for us. We call those leading tabs indents. They're important. The computer uses them to know which instructions are part of the same code block. True. All right. So why do we use functions? And we're going to select all that apply. To run multiple instructions in one go? Yes, that's one thing. To reuse code multiple times? Absolutely. To put a name on multiple lines of code? Yeah, we're going to have to do that too. And submit it. Looks good. There we go. So let's read this stuff. So we're right. Functions are groups of instructions we reuse every time we call the function, okay? Because we give functions a name, they also allow us to name a set of instructions, which is handy, all right? So names in code have rules also. Function identifiers cannot contain spaces, all right? In general, names in programming languages cannot contain spaces. Very true. The computer uses spaces to detect the separation between different keywords and identifiers. Instead of spaces, in GDScript, we use underscores, right? So this thing right here. We saw this already with functions like move forward or move local x. This is the convention we follow in GDScript. There's another convention programmers use in some other programming languages. Instead of using underscores, they start words with capital letters, except for the first one. With that convention, we write function names like move forward, move local x, or codeman s. All right. So yeah, this is the JavaScript style. This is Python style. We call this snake case. We call this camel case. All right. Okay, let's keep going. Identifiers also have to start with a letter or an underscore. We can't begin with a number, but we can use numbers after the first character. All right. So which of the following names are valid function names? We're going to select all that apply. Note, it is fine to use capital letters. Okay. 45-degree turn. No, we cannot, because we can't begin with a number. Right. So it can start with an underscore or a letter, but not a number. So not that one. Move forward. Okay. Underscore is cool. Those are cool. Jump. Yes. Move forward. No. Make 3 new characters. This is not at the beginning, so it's fine. All right. So those 3 look good. Let's submit it. All right. So we can't name a function move forward because it contains a space. Yes. Names in code cannot contain spaces. They can't start with numbers either, which is why 45-degree turn is also invalid. However, having numbers elsewhere in a function name is fine. That's why make 3 new characters works. Very true. All right, so instantly moving the turtle to a different position. In order to draw multiple squares in different positions, they're going to introduce a new function for our turtle to use, right? The jump function picks up the turtle and places it relative to where it is. So calling it jump -150 moves the turtle by 100 pixels to the left, all right, and 50 down. So 100 to the left and then 50 down. And there we go. So there we go. So let's do this. We've got func draw 3 lines. We got move forward 100, jump back and 50. So left and down. Move forward 100, left and down, move forward 100, and let's do it. Draw 3 lines. Boom. boom, a boom. Cool. So the 100 goes back to the beginning. The negative 100 goes back to the beginning, and we go down 50. Looks very nice. All right. So now we're on to practices. So this first one is going to be a function to draw squares. Until now, we've had to write code by hand, and it's boring. It's time to code a reusable function. We're going to use it to draw multiple squares. All right. And the second one, we're going to be drawing multiple squares. Now that we've created a function to draw squares over here, we can reuse it by calling it multiple times. Let's go to the first one like this. All right. So we've got a function to draw squares here. We're going to code a function named drawSquares to draw one square of length 200 pixels. The function should take no parameters. We're going to use the move forward and turn right functions to instruct the turtle, okay? In the following practice, we're going to use the drawSquare function to draw multiple squares by calling our own function. Awesome. All right. So we're going to make a drawSquare function first. So we're going to start by saying func. drawSquare, draw underscore square. All right. Have a couple of these right there, a colon right there. Drop it down with enter. We see it indents for us. Now we're going to use the move forward, move underscore forward. And we want to do this 200. So we're going to put 200 in there, drop it down, and then we'll say turn right, turn right. All right. And we're going to turn right 90 like thus. Then we'll come over here to line 3, go up to the end of line 1, copy it, go down to the end of line 3 again, drop it off 1, 2, 3 times. So we've got 4 sides in this square. We'll get rid of that last turn right, and then we'll run the code. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks good. Looks real good. All right, continue. So we're on to the next one. Drawing multiple squares. We've got our draw square thing right here. We have the function to draw one square right there, yes. And now we're going to use it to draw 3 squares. We already created draw square. They already created draw square for us. And we're going to create a function named draw 3 squares that calls draw square 3 times. Okay, if we just call the function, all 3 squares will overlap. So to stack them diagonally, we're going to call jump 300, 300 between 2 calls to draw a square. Calling jump 300, 300 makes the turtle jump by 300 this way and then down 300 without drawing any lines. Okay, so let's do that. We're going to call it draw 3 squares. So let's grab this right here. Why not? Can we just double click it? Yeah, double click that. Pick it up, drop it down 1, drop it down 2 to 11. Press backspace to bring it back to the front. We're going to say func. We're going to do draw 3 squares. We're going to have this set of parentheses. We're going to have the colon. Drop it down 1. Whoa. Drop it down 1 like this. We'll call draw square 3 times. Copy it. Come down. Let's push control end, I should say, to go down to 12. And then we'll say 1, 2, 3. Whoa. 1, enter 2, enter 3 with the control V. All right. So in between these ones, we're going to do the jump 300, 300. Let's just go grab it over here. Jump 300, 300. We'll drop it down once after this draw square. Press down, enter, boom. Now we've got it twice. Let's get rid of this white space just to make it a little more profesh. Run the code. 1. Oh, 2. Oh, I really like this, honestly. This is a really slick move. This is a really slick move to have it do that. Very, very good, in my opinion. Of course, there's people that probably hate on this. Or whatever. But in my opinion, that is aesthetically pleasing. All right, continue. We're lesson complete. Continue again. Now we're on to our first function parameter. And we'll see you next time.